My name is Martin and I represent Deep-Image.ai, and today we will learn how to use all of our tools. We will start from the guide and let's log in to our account and let's go to Tools, All Tools, and try the very first one, which is Auto Enhance. So how to use Auto Enhance? Once you load the page, you can see a rectangle here and we can simply click on it, pick the image that we want to enhance, click Enhance, and just like that, it's done. It's automatically checking on the image, seeing what needs to be enhanced, and applying the right filters and modifications and enhancements with AI. That's how this works. If you want to download this picture, you can just click on icon here. You can also see the comparison, the before and after of the image. You can also turn this off to just see the latest version. And you can also share your picture to any social media platform you're interested in. The very first icon here is the copy to clipboard, so you can copy it and then paste it in, for example, a messenger or WhatsApp or any other app. You can always come back to the tool, upload another photo and also enhance it. We are going to now talk about the second tool from the list. It's AI Enhancer Pro. Let's open it up. So that's the default view of AI Enhancer Pro. In here you can upload a photo that you want to enhance, an image. You can actually upload multiple images if you want. Today we will just upload one, and I will go with you through all the options that we have. So let's start with the upscale. When it comes to upscale, you can upscale by ratio or width and height. So let's say that I just want to do a simple upscale. We'll mark upscale times 2, and then you can see that my resolution from 1499 moved to 2998 2 times, and if I click 3 times, the resolution will increase up to 4 times, where we are reaching huge resolutions of nearly 6000 to 4000 pixels. And that's how you can set up a simple upscale. It's proportional, it keeps the proportions of the original photo. Now if we go to the second option for upscaling, we can here decide, for example, how wide the image should be. And let's say that I want it to be 2000 pixels wide, and the height will be automatically applied to keep the proportions intact. So I can see here it's 1344. That's how it works. Now that we know how to use the upscale feature, let's go to framing. Framing is mostly useful for product photos, for e-commerce and other objects, but it allows you to create, for example, canvas around your main picture or main object. You can center crop your object in the image. You can content or item crop, depending on what you have on your image that you want to center or crop accordingly. When it comes to bounds, it scales an image until the larger side reaches the edge of canvas, established by width and height. That's a more advanced feature for experienced users. Also, the cover scales an image until the smaller side reaches the edge of canvas established by width and height that we have in the previous feature. So that's how they work. If you want, you can set up the color of the bounds of the border that the system will paint. So now we have framing processed. Now let's go to background processing. Background processing is also a feature that is very popular among e-commerce customers. You can do multiple things in this single feature. You can remove your background completely. You can remove the background and replace it with a solid color, for example. You can pick from the color picker, from the existing colors here, and just process the image with a new color as background. Apart from this, you can also remove and generate completely new background from scratch. In order to do so, you can either just simply write anything there, for example, standing on a beach, and the item will be automatically exchanged in the prompt for whatever it is on your photo. You can use existing scenes that are here. It's over 100 various scenes created for e-commerce, and you can pick any of them. You can try them out. You can come up with some of your very own prompts, which is very nice. And for example, we can set up monstera leaves as a background drop, and then we can use object size. If you have a good product photo, you can decide how big the object should be on the final photo. So you can make it smaller or bigger, and obviously if it's smaller it will be further away from the sides, and then you have more space for your background to play an important role. But you don't have to use it. If you turn it off, the object will just stay the same size as it is on the original photo. And that's how the background processing works. It's a very powerful tool. I recommend learning more about it. The next one is enhance face details. If you, for example, are upscaling a photo, it's quite useful if there are people on the photos to actually mark that feature. It will upscale the whole image, but it will pay a lot of attention towards the faces to make sure that they look good. Also might be helpful if you actually have AI generated images. Sometimes the faces don't look that good. If you need to upscale those images anyway, you can actually use face enhance on the fly and try to improve on that photo a little bit. Reduce noise is a great feature. I highly recommend using version 2. And reduce noise helps you clean the photo, and you can then easily process this photo without noise, which will help you, for example, to improve the brightness, the color, the saturation, many other things. Reducing noise mostly is very positive when it comes to final results. Sharpen is an important tool, and it's usually used against blurry photos. If your photo is blurry, there is some movement that the camera wasn't able to catch with enough sharpness, then you can try to use this sharpen feature to reduce the blur, to make it more sharp. Color and lighting helps you correct the exposure. The AI will always try to make the exposure look as natural as possible. So it's not the tool for achieving like unusual results or a very specific stylized lighting. It's rather to get to the point zero, to the default state, the most natural, the most intuitive version of the image that you can then work on. It's a quite nice tool. I highly recommend trying it out, playing around with saturation, light and white balance, and various options, because every image is a little bit different. You might have different results. And the very last feature from the list for AI Enhancer Pro is the advanced section. In advanced section we can do two things. First is we can keep the ICC profile of the original image. It's quite useful for some cases. And we can also decide the file format. We can set it up as auto. If we are exporting, for example, images with the background removed and we want the image to have transparent background, I recommend using PNG format. For other photos and images, JPEG or WebP will be sufficient. And that's it. So if we are happy with our options, we selected all the options that we are interested in, all the operations, we can click Enhance. And regardless of how many features we need applied to our photo, we always pay just 1 credit per enhance, which is very nice. And as you can see, after clicking Enhance and waiting about 1-2 seconds for the image to process, we can see the final result, how it's changed a little bit. And that's the AI Enhancer Pro. Advanced features for professionals. Now we are in the tools section, as you can see, and we will go to AI Generator Pro and talk about it. That's my favorite tool personally because it's boosting my creativity very much, and I like AI Generator Pro a lot. So in here we have quite a few options when it comes to being creative. First of all, Generator Pro allows us to generate images based on text. Let's write some text right now. For example, home on a farm. And without checking any other options, let's just click generate. And now, as you can see, the image is processing and it generated a little bit of an image. Now, if I go back to edit, you can see some advanced options here. And I will actually reset those options. You can turn them off or on, and you can see additional prompt and negative prompt. Negative prompt is important to lock out of the image some elements that you don't really want to see there. Additional prompt might help you with extra styling or extra adjectives that will describe your image better. So let's click generate again with those default settings now. And as you can see, it generated a bit different image than before. No longer in pixel art, it's more like a photorealistic style. So that's the difference. Let's go through all the options on the right side. So we have those options. Upscale. Upscale works very similar like in Enhancer Pro. But this time, by default, your images, if you don't select upscale at all, your images will be 1024 pixels to 1024 pixels. If you click upscale and times 2, this will be 2 times larger, obviously. But you have a very good option where you can set up height and width yourself. So you can say, for example, I want this image to be 1920 pixels wide and 1080p height. And let's click generate. And now this image that we will get will have a different proportions, different dimensions. It's also kind of helpful that you set a specific proportions, because it will allow you to generate images that might look a little bit different depending on the dimensions. The next is framing. As in Enhancer or in product photo, you can as well frame your image, create a border, create some bounds, and play around with this. If you would want to learn more about framing itself, there will be a separate video dedicated just to this feature. Enhance face details, you can try to use it with generation, sometimes it helps. Reduce noise is not really necessary, especially in images that are generated by AI. They are usually quite clean already. Sharpen is also not necessary. Color and lighting, sometimes you might want to try this out to experiment with this a little bit. And advanced, of course, allows you to select the format of the file of the output image. In this case, keeping ICC profile doesn't seem to be very sensible, but yes, you can actually select every type of the image that you want as an output. So that was the standard generation, but there is actually quite more to AI Generator Pro, because you are able to actually upload a photo. So for example, we will upload this photo of a person, and we have multiple options that we can do with this photo. We can, for example, pick one of the presets and try to reimagine this person as somebody completely different but with similar face. For example, we can try to put this person in a Paris style. Let's try this out. Because the initial photo is quite small, I will upscale this a bit, actually even maybe 3 times. And let's click generate. As you can see, the AI took the face from the initial photo and generated a brand new image with this person in Paris. That's the before and that's after, completely different photo. So that's just one of the very many ways. So that's just the one of many ways that we can use AI Generator Pro. The second way is to take advantage of image edges and colors, or maybe just edges. That's super useful for various applications, but even with the photo that we have right now of the person, we can actually try and do something interesting with it. We can, for example, maybe change this person completely. Let's make a woman with blonde hair and yellow clothes. And now let's mark just edges and click generate. Now the AI should take into consideration just the edges of objects on the image, not really the face itself, but rather what's on the image, and generate something completely new based on that. So we wanted a woman with blonde hair and yellow clothes, and it generated exactly that from the initial photo. As you can see, the position of the model is exactly the same, and the lines align correctly. What's changed is what we wanted to be changed. And that's all about AI Generator Pro. It has multiple functions, it has a lot of features that are very useful, very powerful, but remember, you don't have to use all of them, you don't have to know all of that to get great results. Now let's start in our tools section and let's go straight to avatar generator. So this tool is quite simple. It allows us to generate avatars based on a face that can be found on an uploaded photo. So I have a little photo of some person prepared. Let's upload this to the platform, and now I can select few things. First of them is the dimensions, the proportions of the image, so I can make it square, portrait, landscape or panorama. For this image I will choose portrait. Now I can select the preset And as you can see, the images here, it's quite a lot. It's about 100 presets. Let's make, I think we could probably go for cottagecore. Let's try cottagecore. So now we have selected our preset, we have uploaded the photo, and all we have to do now is click generate avatar. But before we do this, I just want to show you one more option. There is option to create a custom preset. So as you can see in here, that was just an example. I can write some text in here and create my own preset. But today let's choose the cottage one and try it out. Okay, so we have our preset selected, we have portrait, we click generate avatar. After the image processed, you can see it's in the dimensions we wanted. On top of it, you can see information about the prompt that was used for this image, and we can compare it to the base, to the input photo of the face of the person that we want to change. Now we can select, for example, another avatar. This one is kawaii. Let's try this one. Generate avatar. Here you go. The image has processed. As you can see, it's quite nice. Every single time you generate an image, you can actually choose another preset or make your own, or you can simply press reroll to try again. Not always the effect will be perfect the first time. Sometimes you have to try a few times to get the best possible results. Give the AI a chance to do something interesting. And the result should be a tiny bit different every single time, unless you turned it off. But that's a second option for another day. So once you create an avatar, it will move you to the gallery screen where you can actually download this, compare with the original photo and share. And that's all you need to know about how to create avatars. Today we are looking at our tools page, and we will dive into background replacement tool. Let's have a look at what it can do for us. Usually this kind of tool is used for e-commerce, online shops, to, for example, replace the background of an item for something more interesting. The first step is uploading the photo. I have prepared myself a kind of generic cardboard product photo that we will use. I am uploading this right now, and now we have a few options when it comes to the image dimensions. We can keep the original, we can make it square, portrait or landscape, and after that we can of course pick our preset for the background. We can use one of those already existing presets, but we can also create a completely custom one from scratch, writing text. But for now, let's just use the existing one. I think the glacier might be nice. Let's see how it goes. 1 or 2 seconds usually is enough for regular sized images to process. As you can see, it removed the background completely. It properly recognize the objects that are our products, that are the objects of interest, and generated backgrounds together with shadows, sun reflections, and all the effects. It's important to remember that AI cannot really cover the object itself with any pixels, so it cannot really draw over the box, but it can draw behind it. So that's how this tool is used. And of course, once we see the picture, we can, as always, download it, compare to the original, and maybe share it with friends on social media. We can also reroll easily without going back to setup, just to see if the next generation will be even more interesting than the previous one. And we will now talk about the Generate Image tool. It's quite similar to AI Generator Pro, but I think it's faster and more intuitive to use. So let's jump in. In here we are greeted with the text field, where we can actually put any text that we want, but I highly recommend that it will be a description that is focused on visual aspects of the object that you want created. So for example, you will use adjectives and wording that will describe the textures, the fabric, the kind of materials used, if they are shiny, where is the light coming from, and stuff like that. And that would help you very much into generating interesting image. You can select dimensions. I will select a square for this presentation. And now, as I mentioned, you can write your own prompts, but you can also use something existing and maybe just change it a little bit so it will better fit your needs. Let's try, for example, this liquid metal, a woman with roses, and in the style of made of liquid metal. It's quite interesting style. Let's see. So we click on generate image and wait like a second or two for it to process. As you can see, this is the result. You can download it, share it. You can reroll or go back to the tool that we used before. Let's go back to the tool and see if we could try something else. If you press this little X button, it will remove all the text so you can start fresh, and we will write mountains behind the frozen lake. And let's get landscape dimensions and click generate image. As you can see, we are receiving a beautiful image of mountains surrounding the lake in a very nice setup. It's photorealistic, it's quite high quality, and every time if you will feel that those features, those options that you have here are not enough for you, or you outgrow this tool, you can always switch to AI Generator Pro and have all extra setups available to you anytime. And we will take a closer look at another tool, which is called remove background. It has very clear function and it's very effective. So I am uploading this photo of my boxes, and now I just click remove background. I will wait a second or two for the image to process, and as you can see, the background is nicely removed. I can now use this image as a transparent background photo of my product. If I want, I can, as usual, I can compare before and after effect. I can download my photo, I can share it if I want on social media platforms. I can always go back to the tool, upload another product photo, and also remove background from it. Let's try the other one. And one click is all it takes to get the results I was looking for. Let's have a closer look at one of the more interesting tools in our portfolio, which is AI Drawing to Image. Now, what it allows you to do is to reimagine existing image, existing illustration or drawing or a sketch. It can also be a photo, but probably with drawings you will get better results. So let's say I'll just upload a drawing from a child, a friend of mine, and I will write some prompt for it. I will try to match what I see on the image and what I would like to see in the end result. So a small girl and her two plush friends are going to school. And let's click generate image. And as you can see, it took the drawing and reimagined this in a completely new way. It's a little girl with her plush friends. It seems that she's in school. If I'm not happy, I can always re-roll this image again to see if the results will be different. But if I want, I can also go back to edit, maybe change the prompt a little bit. Are in the forest. So that way I can impact the background of the image that the AI is generating. Let's see the end results. Alright, so now she's with her friends, with her plush friends in the colorful and nice looking forest. As you can see, it tries its best to stick to the lines as much as possible, but sometimes it does a little exceptions. This is this kind of random element that we have to take into account when using AI. On the bottom side of our tool section, we have one more interesting tile. It's called Real Estate Designer. Let's click on it and have a closer look. So this tool allows you to upload a photo of your real estate. Usually it will be interior or exterior of the home, house, apartment or a building, and then we can use some prompting and AI to generate something out of it. So for example, let me just put here an image of an empty room. So I've uploaded my image of an empty room, and now I will use the prompt section to populate this room. So I will write, this is a teenager bedroom with bed, desk, furniture, LED lights, guitar, blue walls. And from the original picture I will take just edges. If I click image, it will also transfer some colors and other elements, but I don't want this in this particular case. Let's just go with the edges. Teenage boy bedroom and generate image. As you could see, we have some presets below, and here is the bedroom. It took into account everything that I wrote down. So I wanted the teenage boy bedroom with bed, desk, furniture, LED lights, guitar and blue walls. And as you can see, every single element is here, is taken into account. I can of course re-roll this and get, for example, a second attempt for the very same prompt. And every single time it might look tiny bit different, which is great because you want to have a lot of options. And if I want, I can always go to the gallery, have a look at every single one of them, download it, compare and share. I recommend reroll button here, as every single time you might get something quite interesting, and it's worth trying a few times every single time to get as many good results as possible. So let's have a look at our tools section and scroll down to the very bottom, and you can see here AI image upscaler. So let's have a closer look. It's the simplified version, where you can just upload your photo. I have actually a small version of the photo that I can upload, and now I can pick how much I want to upscale it. And sometimes if you don't have a paid account, you might encounter an error that will say you that you cannot really put that big of an resolution. But let's have a look, maybe 3 times should be fine, and let's click upscale. Depending on the complication of an image and how big it is, it might take shorter or longer, but usually it takes up to like 2 seconds, 1 second. And let's have a closer look. Yep, the image is upscaled. It's quite visible, especially on hair. Hair looks much better now. Eyes looks better. There is more details all over the place. Yeah, and every single time, if you want, you can download the image, you can compare it with the original, you can share it, you can also rate how well was the result. We will check those ratings for you, and we will use this as an element for AI for learning and improving for the future photos. If you want to process another photo, you can always go back to your tool, upload another photo, and upscale it as well. Thank you very much for staying with me through this little guide about every single tile tool that we have in our offer. I hope you found this helpful, and it's something that helped you better understand how to take advantage of the features that we offer and make the best of them. I wish you a great day. See you later. Bye bye.
Deep-Image.ai.